I'm not a huge fan of Hulk. I've always been a fan of other versions of Hulk more than I have been with, Hulk. Like Red Hulk, Joe Fixit, She Hulk. Um, even Maestro. There's just a lot of Hulks that are way more interesting than Bruce Banner. This movie is definitely a bit overhated, but it still isn't very good. It's very boring and slow, but when there's about maybe 50 minutes left, it starts to go somewhere. The dude from a lot of movies, um, Tim Blake, yeah, he's in here. He was supposed to be Mole Man in Fantastic Four. He was the dude in Watchmen. I watched that show not too long ago. He's done a lot of talented roles, to say the least. He was also in Holes as that one douchebag. But yeah, he plays the leader. But, that doesn't go anywhere since this movie flopped and got the sequel canned. But there are rumors from what I've heard. I don't know if it's officially confirmed that Tim Blake will be returning to play the leader in something. I don't remember what it was. There's that Thunderbolt show that's coming out, so maybe it's that. But yeah, we don't get Abomination until there's like 10 minutes left of the movie. It doesn't take too long for him to get his ass whooped either. His design was pretty cool, but I still prefer the comic ones. So I wasn't, too mad when it got changed in She-Hulk. Speaking of She-Hulk, that is literally the only reason I decided to rewatch this movie. Just so I can see if I have more background on, some of the stuff that gets talked about in She-Hulk whenever I review She-Hulk. So I can actually remember this movie and some of the things that happened in it. So in the She-Hulk show, they're like, yeah, Blonsky's a good guy. He wasn't actually that bad. He was just following orders, but he kills a dog in this movie. That was one of the things that I was thinking about throughout the movie until the dog died. I was like, wait, I don't remember that dog ever being mentioned in Avengers 1 with Mark Ruffalo. Or is the dog gonna survive and he's just never gonna be in the MCU again? But no, he gets shot in the head by Blonsky, and I was like, come on, man. Poor dog. What did he do to deserve that? I thought it was weird that nobody mentioned how weird that was. He just shoots the dog for no reason. It's not being violent, it's just kind of sitting there. And he just shoots it. And not a single person criticizes it or go, Blonsky, what are you doing, man? They just they just don't care. I'm assuming it died because I don't think the whimpering noise it made would have been a trank shot. And it's never seen again or mentioned in the movie again. I actually did kind of like Betty's boyfriend from like the 2 scenes we saw him in. He seemed like a decently cool character, so it sucks that we never see him again. There are some cool action scenes here and there, but it's honestly way too long of a movie to have barely anything happen in it. It's not that long, but it's close to being 2 hours. And I really don't understand that many things that happen in it. It's just boring. The only thing I remembered from this movie before rewatching it, because I watched it years and years ago, was that Hulk can't have sex, so yeah. Anyways, the final thing I have to talk about is this thing I thought was ridiculous. The helicopter crashes that has Ross and Betty and like at least 6 soldiers in it. And every single person dies in it besides obviously Betty and Ross, her dad. It's kind of ridiculous. You're telling me there was 8 people in there, and the only people with, big roles were the ones that survived. I just laughed out loud when I was like, really? The 2 people? The 2 main characters? Wow. Never would have guessed they would have survived the helicopter crash yet. Every single other dude is dead in there. Bit ridiculous if you ask me. Hulk almost kills Abomination, but he gets told to stop, so he stops. The movie ends with Hulk losing control. 31 days without incident, and then his eyes turn green and he smiles at the camera. Lame ending for a lame movie. I mean, it had its moments, but it just really wasn't that good of a movie. Which is very disappointing, to say the least. I do wish it would have got a sequel, though, so we could have seen Tim Blake as the leader, because he is an amazing actor from the few movies and shows I've seen him in. He does have a lot of range. He also played a small role in the Scooby-Doo movie. Anyways, I guess that's about it.